Mark here with Antique and Garden Showcase, and today we're going to take a look at a piece of Nippon that has been in my collection for several years. It was gifted to me by my aunt and my late uncle several years ago. The piece has never really had a known use, and I've actually asked many places about the use, and I've gotten all sorts of different stories. And one of the reasons I actually joined the International Nippon Collectors Club was to see if I could find out more about this piece at the time. And even the collectors who had been with Nippon for many years didn't have an idea about what this piece was used for. And knowing Nippon was mostly functional, that all the pieces had some sort of function or use, I knew there had to be something that was right for this piece, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. This past year, I had the pleasure of getting my certification as an appraiser through the Ashford Institute of Antiques, and I've always had an ability to, it's almost a radar to hone in on something that's antique that I know is a great piece, and maybe I don't always know as much about it as I would like to, but I try to find or keep my eyes open. And I just happened to be at my aunt's house, the one that gave me this piece, and they, well, she is actually a member of the Flow Blue Collectors Society, and on her counter was the latest edition of their club magazine, and she was showing me some things through there, and I saw a picture, which I'll put up on the screen in a bit, and a red light went off. I was like, I know what the piece is now. So I did some extra research, and I found out that my instincts are true on this piece of Nippon. Now, the thing about this is that most of the Nippon collectors know the Joan Van Patten books really well, and they probably have all the books that are out there, as do I. This piece doesn't appear in any of the books that I can find, or any books or publications that I've looked at, you know, outside of those as well. So I'm wondering if this is a rare piece, or if now that we find out what this piece really is, will others surface. So first I'm going to put up the piece as I had it posted on the International Nippon Collectors Club site, and some of the comments that were on there. And then we'll get more into looking at the piece in just a few minutes. So in September of 2019, I wrote, "Thank you for adding me a few weeks ago. I have been a collector since I was 14 years old. I'm trying to identify what this piece was used for. It's in one of my favorite patterns that I collect. Any info or insight is greatly appreciated." And here are some of the comments that I received on that particular piece at that time. One of which said it was most likely a candy dish. Another said that honestly it's simply decorative, probably wasn't that functional or utilitarian, and then of course it's a beautiful work of art. Alright, so here is our piece that we're talking about today. This is the piece that's been in question for quite a while, and this piece is marked appropriately on the bottom. If I turn this over, I'm kind of watching on the monitors to make sure I get this to where you can see it. It does have the maple leaf mark on the bottom. The maple leaf mark dates this piece to the late Victorian era, so that would put this into the late Victorian era table settings. Alright, another feature of this piece is that it has the shell design that we see on so many other spoon warmers in different other different collectibles. Mostly those were in silver plate. Some were other pottery, and said very few were in porcelain. But it's characteristic because you notice it has feet on the bottom, and it said all spoon warmers had feet on the bottom to keep the heat off the table. And this actually has kind of a sunken in well. As you can see on the inside of the piece, it is fairly deep in that well, so you can fill that with warm water. And if we take, I'm still trying to watch the monitors here a little bit, I'm going to grab a serving spoon. If we take a serving spoon, we see that that fits perfectly down in that well and rests nicely against the back of that. So folks, I believe we have a determined Nippon spoon warmer from the Victorian period. And more, the research that I've done online actually tells me that the spoon warmer was used probably in the 1890s to early 1900s. After that, these kind of lost favor, and most of them became planters. And one of the things that I have seen is that whenever I ask what this piece is, I've heard that it's a candy dish. I've heard that it's a gravy boat missing its underplate. I've heard that it's a planter. I've heard all kinds of stories on this piece, none of which I ever believed were true, because I knew it had some sort of function that had not been determined just yet. But the spoon warmers themselves, a little bit of the history on that. The Victorian homes, they said, were very drafty, and that a warm meal was something that was very cherished, and that they did not want to use cold spoons in warm dishes for fear that that might cause the dish to get cold prematurely. Also, they said that, and this makes sense, that if you're making a gravy, like a gravy with, I guess, fatty materials or whatever they use in gravy, that it can congeal when the cold spoon hits the gravy or stays in there too long. So it was a way to prevent that from happening as well. So I thought this was a neat piece of research. I'm going to throw on the screen some of the others that I have found and give you a little bit more information about this one as well. So I'm very proud to present to you the Nippon Spoon Warmer to both the viewers of Antique and Garden Showcase and to the International Nippon Collectors Club. I hope this can be a valuable piece of information in your search for porcelain items, and I hope that maybe the International Nippon Collectors Club will consider this as one of their journal entries in the future as well. I would love to see comments on this video. Please put comments on the YouTube channel as well as on any posts. Also, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. That helps me build, and it also it allows you to see when I put new content out. It costs nothing. It's just a subscription, so you can see when the new content does come out. And I look forward to seeing you very soon in another video. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.